Miss Nora Karina Denny was the head of school from 1921 to 1963 and was best known as the co-founder of Queen Margaret School alongside Miss Gagen. Born in Lincolnshire, England, Miss Denny attended Lincoln High School and Queen Margaret School in Scarborough before serving in the First World War. She served both at home and in France with Queen Alexandra's Imperial Military Nursing Service as a special military probationer. Her most notable accomplishment during the World War was receiving the Royal Red Cross Society Medal, which is awarded to nurses who demonstrate exceptional devotion and competency in their duties. Miss Denny came to Canada with no clear plan and was unsure of her next steps, but she turned her spontaneous move overseas into a life that positively impacted many young girls and women. She was deeply passionate about guiding, loving the opportunity to help young girls build confidence, learn life skills, and become responsible global citizens. Many girls have written letters back to Miss Denny, sharing how their guiding experiences brought them confidence, happiness, and lasting friendships. This guiding legacy continues to impact young girls today. Camp Karina, a local Girl Guide camp located near the Cocosala River and named in Miss Denny's honor, continues to serve Girl Guides from across Canada, serving as proof to her significant influence on the guiding community, especially within the Cowichan Valley. Miss Denny and Miss Gagen met through their shared interest in guides, where they ran the first Cowichan Guides Company before founding Queen Margaret School. When someone suggested to Miss Denny that she should build a school, she responded with, "What fun would that be?" instead of "How dreadful," reflecting her compassion and love for teaching. Both Miss Denny and Miss Gagen sought to provide a solid education that emphasized service, integrity, and pride in oneself and one's work. The contributions Miss Denny made both to Guides and Queen Margaret School have profoundly impacted the lives of many young individuals, shaping them into confident people who continue to trailblaze through life. Her legacy endures in the lives she touched and in ours today as we continue to celebrate her achievements.
Miss Dorothy Rachel Gagen was a positive force for change during her 42 years as head of school at QMS. Miss Gagen attended Upland School at St. Leonard's for her formative years before moving with her mother and father to Duncan in 1912. After finishing her secondary education at Duncan High School, Miss Gagen went on to graduate with her undergraduate degree from the University of British Columbia in 1917. Returning to Duncan shortly after, Miss Gagen met Miss Denny through their work for the Girl Guides, and so began a lifelong friendship. Later, with support and encouragement from her loving mother, Miss Gagen and Miss Denny founded Queen Margaret School, a day and boarding school for girls and young boys. As a founder of QMS, Miss Gagen was always fearlessly committed to education and strove to create a positive environment for all students. As an educational pioneer who taught in both Duncan and at Margate School in England, she inspired service, integrity, and pride in every student she taught. Her work with the Guides was instrumental in shaping young minds and inspired students to give back to this community around them. During the war, Miss Gagen and her students did everything they could, collecting scrap metal, raising money, and donating meals to the war effort. Miss Gagen was a true pioneer whose legacy continues to touch students every day.
Miss Margaret Glide served as head of school at Queen Margaret School twice since 1963, succeeding Miss Denny and Miss Gagen. Having attended a boarding school in Somerset, she developed a love for education, which led her to become a teacher. She cared deeply about students' well-being and introduced active afternoons on Wednesday to give students time for relaxing activities. From 1975 to 1978, she oversaw the construction of Glide Hall, a modern dining facility opened in her honor in 1977. Even today, it remains as a main cafeteria for students and staff. She also led constructing a new barn, an indoor riding ring, Spurgeon Hall, and Founders Hall. Miss Glide believed in shaping the future of education, saying, "My job should be to look forward and make sure that here and now we're providing the right foundation on which the next 50 years can be built." Her leadership left a lasting impact on QMS, improving its facilities and community.
Mr. and Mrs. Jocelyn served as a head of school during 1974 to 1975, replacing Miss Glide after retirement. Although they only have been co-head of school for 1 year, they started the drama program, which had their first play as "Sorry, Wrong Number." In a school report written by them, they mentioned that they cherished the same virtues and strived to foster the same strength of characters that were the goals of the founding ladies. However, they had to make the tough decision to resign from their position as they had a young family and a boarding house to run. Their responsibility as heads of schools required significant sacrifices of family time, ultimately leading to the decision to step down.
Miss Jean Archibald came from England and was headmistress of Queen Margaret School from 1978 to 1981. During her term, she introduced entrance examinations to the school and saw the number of graduates grew from 10 to 25. She was always actively involved in student life, like attending theater production, sports event, and even joining students on biology trip to Benfield Marine Station. In 1981, she arranged the 60th anniversary celebration of the school, reaffirming QMS tradition and values.
Howard Dixon made history as the first male headmaster of Queen Margaret School in Duncan, BC, serving from 1982 to 1986. His leadership marked a pivotal moment in the school's history as he helped guide Queen Margaret School through a period of transition and growth, shifting for the first time to male leadership. During his time at the school, Mr. Dixon focused on fostering a supportive and inclusive environment for students while continuing to uphold the values of academic excellence and personal advancement. He was a man known to be dedicated to enhancing the school's curriculum and enriching extracurricular opportunities, as well as ensuring that the needs of the QMS community were met. His efforts laid the groundwork for future successes at the school, leaving a lasting impact on students as well as the broader QMS community.
Peter Hill served as headmaster at Queen Margaret School from 1986 to 1989, shaping its values of perseverance, service, bravery, and love. He emphasized character development, urging students to not only pursue academic success, but also personal growth, integrity, and resilience. Hill saw education as more than just tests and assignments. It was about how students approach their journey with determination and a spirit of service. Beyond academics, he introduced the BC Centennial Tartan, also known as our kilts, which became a lasting tradition and led to the nickname Centennials for students. His time in leadership also oversaw the demolition of the old main building in 1986, marking a period of transformation for the school. Today, our amazing primary school stands on that historic site, representing both the school's rich past and continued evolution.
Miss Mackenzie Williams, who came from Nova Scotia, was head of school from 1989 to 1991. During her second and final years of QMS, Miss Mackenzie Williams celebrated the 70th anniversary of QMS. During her time at QMS, students would mention how nice, friendly, and welcoming she was. She was an animal lover and owned 2 dogs. She had a strong passion for horses and was a big supporter of the equestrian program. She helped organize a pony club event at QMS with participants from across Canada. In addition to her love for family, she also showed her passion for music, which she brought back the use of QMS band bells with the primary students, while adding some of her own bells.
Richard Parsons served as the head of school from 1991 to 1995. His most impactful contributions to the school community were centered around the chapel. During his time as head, the chapel was designated as a heritage structure. A few years later, the chapel underwent major renovations, including the replacement of its foundation and roof.
Miss Margaret Davies ran as deputy head from 1988 to 1995, then finally settled in as the head of school from 1995 to 1996. Miss Davies was a proud person of the values of our school, marking her interest in the athletics, arts, academics, and chapel services that her students had taken on. She was a prime contributor of the Thanksgiving food chain that brought together all of the staff members as well as the students from kindergarten to grade 12, and was present in the creation of the Shirley Burr Equestrian Center in our school.
Dr. Stephen Johnson was a strong-willed and compassionate person who led Queen Margaret School as head from 1996 to 2000, following Margaret Davies. His time here was spent influencing change and striving to bring QMS into the 21st century. He accomplished these goals by retaining the values of honesty, dedication, and compassion he saw abundantly clear in the student body, and developed the tools needed to enhance students' inner values. These tools included advocating for more community service, improving learning and living spaces, and acknowledging the struggles both day and boarding students deal with regularly. His forward-thinking mindset and hard work ethic helped push QMS into the future, having a hand in creating what it is today.
Peter Skipper served as head of school from 2000 to 2001. Though his time at the helm was brief, he brought with him a genuine care for student well-being and staff growth. He encouraged students to stay hydrated by using water bottles, and he promoted good nutrition to support healthy brain development. Small habits that contributed to a long-term success. He was also a strong advocate for professional development among staff, helping build a culture of lifelong learning. Before becoming head of school, Peter served on the QMS board, and his ties to the school ran deep. His 3 daughters were students here, and his wife was a proud supporter of our equestrian program. Though his impact may not be marked by large-scale initiatives, Peter Skipper's contribution came from a place of care, community, and quiet leadership. And for that, we say thank you.
From 2000 to 2004, Douglas Halliday served as the head of Queen Margaret School. One of his most significant contributions was the creation of the iconic Queen Margaret's Old Crown logo.
Patricia Rowentry came from Winnipeg and attended our school as head from 2004 to 2010. Patricia Rowentry's relentless dedication, courage, and love for education made her such a special and valued part of Queen Margaret School. Miss Rowentry revitalized QMS substantially in her 7 years being here by growing and fostering a strong community, raising the bar for academic excellence, and most importantly, improving the facilities and programs here. For her relentless dedication, Rowentry Hall, the very building some of you use today, was named after her. Thank you, Ms. Rowentry.
Wilma Jameson served as head of school from 2010 to 2020. During her leadership, she introduced initiatives that shaped QMS into the school we know and love today. She played a key role in the creation of the TLC, a space that has become essential to the part of student life. But perhaps more significantly, she helped QMS become a gender-inclusive school. This change would not only expand opportunities, but also allow us to form friendships that wouldn't have been possible in an all-girls environment. Because of her vision, QMS has grown into a stronger, more confident community. For that, we thank her.
2020 was a challenging year for our community. It saw our leadership transition on top of a global pandemic. Amidst the unknowns, one individual stepped up, Mr. David Robertson. After 4 decades of service in education, DBR came out of retirement to become the 17th head of QMS, determined to revitalize every aspect of its community. Under his leadership, we can proudly say that QMS has been transformed into the frontrunner among Cowichan Valley independent schools. Our campus saw significant improvements. The TLC Phase 2 and the ECE extensions were completed. Innisfree Farm was acquired, adding 3 acres to our beautiful campus. DBR's own initiatives, such as the Sports Hall, Centennial Plaza, and the Fitness Center, have greatly enhanced the essence of the QMS experience. Inside the buildings, the academic programs were greatly expanded with new AP offerings, applied skills courses, and the PBL program. The QMS athletics program experienced rampant growth, marked by the completion of new facilities and the revitalization of varsity programs, including rugby and field hockey. The arts programs flourished, with renewed emphasis on the applied and visual arts. This is apparent in the establishment of the Film Arts and Sciences program, thanks to DBR's connection with CASE, as well as the renovation of the visual and material arts classrooms and the woodworking studio. Philanthropy, the bread and butter of independent systems, has skyrocketed during this time. It is thanks to DBR's commitment to making education accessible to all. The financial aid quadrupled, allowing more trailblazers to experience a QMS education. The annual fund soared, seeing a $250,000 increase in just 5 years' time. DBR's imminent retirement will not only mark the end of his time at QMS, but also the end of an illustrious career that has impacted countless young minds. DBR, you have truly made QMS a special place, a place where dreams can become reality, a place where all voices are cherished and valued, and a place where students of all backgrounds can harness their intellectual vitality. Your enthusiasm and commitment to your work have inspired me and every individual in this community. QMS students and community members alike will fondly remember your weekly YouTube updates through challenging times, your ode to the Haggis at the Robbie Burns lunches, and most importantly, your ability to connect with all members of our community. Without a doubt, your legacy will linger for decades more to come. Thank you.